Hello, Senator Jake Anderegg here, coming to you from the Utah State Capitol Complex, and welcome to Jake's Views and Review for the 2021 General Legislative Session. Today I wanted to do a video and talk about House Bill 302. This is the transgender female sports prohibition bill. And what this bill was originally, in its original version, was supposed to do was to prohibit trans girls who were once males who have transitioned into being female, prohibit trans girls from competing in female sports at the high school level. So what I wanted to do is I want to talk to you about the policy for a second, and then I wanted to talk to you about the procedure that we followed yesterday that ultimately led to the bill not being voted on. I know there's a lot of misinformation out there that we voted to kill this. The truth is we didn't actually vote on this bill at all, not yet. So first off, let's talk about the policy. The policy really is, for me, I actually agree with the original bill before the third and fourth substitutes, which I couldn't get supported behind the third and fourth substitutes. They were just unworkable. But the original policy says, look, as a fetus that is a male fetus, it gets something like 18 times the normal adult levels of testosterone to help them over that 9-month window develop into a baby boy. That testosterone tapers off significantly and gets to right around half of the normal testosterone level from birth up to about age 10, and then it kicks up to about 6 or 7 times of the adult's testosterone level to help with puberty and development. Well, testosterone not only affects your sexual development, but it also affects your musculature and your skeletal frame. And so there is a biological, generally speaking, there's a biological advantage to a boy who transitions to a girl who then competes in girl sports. Then there would be just a head-to-head competition with natural differences biologically for size and strength, whatnot, between girls. So I agreed with that initial premise, and this is really hard because this bill puts in direct contrast changing social norms for transgender and LGBTQ people, as well as fundamental rights that people have fought for Title IX, for equality, if you will, with female athletics. So the original bill in its original form actually, I think, struck not necessarily, it is going to help the women at the expense of transgender, and I totally understand that. And honestly, as a conservative Republican, if that bill had been before us and we had had a chance to vote on it, I would have voted yes on that bill. By the time we had the fourth substitute, though, the bill basically was meant to be a compromise, but was completely unworkable and was, our attorneys were telling us, was absolutely unconstitutional and would have been sued quite a bit. So as a fiscal conservative Republican, I struggle saying, okay, do I help pass out a message bill that will definitely be sued and likely cost the state millions of dollars in taxpayer dollars, or do we hold what in this fourth substitute was a bill that was problematic at best and unworkable and save the taxpayer millions of dollars? And I ultimately opted to do a procedural move to still keep this bill in our possession that we could still vote on and allow the sponsor of the bill to work through possible additional options so that we could bring it back and vote on this bill. So a lot of people are saying, hey, we voted against it, but we didn't. So the policy really was, and my objection to the fourth substitute, just to be absolutely clear, was we will go ahead and allow transgender girls to be on our team. But when it comes to actually competing, they can't compete. That doesn't work whatsoever, and it was very, very constitutionally problematic. So the fourth sub was just, in my mind, wasn't a workable option. Now, the procedure that we did is in committee, if we take a negative action on a bill, the bill is dead and cannot be resurrected. Okay, it cannot come back in any other way, shape, or form. If we take a positive action on a bill, then it goes to the full Senate and will be heard. Okay. If we do a procedural move, which we did last night, which just adjourned our meeting, it was the last item on the agenda, we adjourned, that keeps the bill in our possession and allows us to work on it in the future. So people that are saying this bill is dead are misinterpreting what we did last night. The bill is not dead. It may ultimately die if they can't work out a compromise to the fourth substitute, which is very possible. If they can't work out a compromise on that, the bill might be dead, but it isn't dead yet. In fact, we could schedule it on a committee meeting even by tomorrow afternoon if we wanted to. So we did this procedural move to give the sponsor more time to work on it if she decides that that's what she wants to do. So that's what we did. We never voted on it. I did not vote yes. I did not vote no. I most likely was going to vote yes, even though I had concerns with the policy if it actually got to that point, just because I do believe in the underlying conflicting principle, which is we shouldn't disadvantage our daughters and female athletes with the parent biological advantage that trans athletes generally have. So I agree with that principle and I would have voted for that bill, but ultimately we did not take a vote on it because that fourth substitute was not a good substitute and we'd like to see improvements to it. So that's the explanation. People have been asking me to explain my vote and my vote was to adjourn. I didn't vote yes, I didn't vote no. I would have voted yes, but I voted to adjourn because that bill had issues. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me. You can call me at 801-901-3580. You can shoot me an email at jandragg@le.utah.gov. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you need. And I look forward to engaging with you. And this is Senator Jake Anderegg coming to you from the Utah State Capitol Complex saying thanks, and we'll catch you next time.